Probably the most important call to action is let's do something. Lansing's been stultified. We by and large have been involved with the same discussion, same debate over at least the last 5 years, if not the last 10 years. We need to do something different. We need to get people together talking about these issues in a more coherent way and towards an end of coming to a solution versus just making partisan political points. You can see the legislature they have spent on lots of different public programs, including tax loopholes and what you call givebacks, and to a significant degree. So that's a part of the issue. A part of the issue is obviously our declining revenues, and in particular for us, the property taxes. And a part of it is that we just need to rein in spending. You know, there's no question that there's not a simple solution here. You know, not a simple cut taxes, not a simple cut spending, but a combination of solutions that we're going to need to enact in order to make this happen. The issue of dealing with the budget on kind of a just-in-time basis is really profound in schools, because we have to have our budgets done by June 30th. The legislature doesn't have to have its budget done, including the money it gives to schools, until September 30th. So it's a huge issue. And I think the only way you get out of that is a very intentional effort to say, we're going to stop doing that. I'm a proponent of a 2-year budget that will let local governments and let local schools do better planning, and will get us out of this kind of constant malaise. As soon as we get done with one budget, we start in on the next budget. We never seem to catch up. For me, it's a matter of looking at where we can make the most intelligent investments, because ultimately, I mean, you can look at taxes different ways, and you can say taxes are to provide public services. They are to do that, but they are also to make investments in the future of the state. And where are we going to get the biggest bang for the buck in those investments? In my world, it's clearly preschool. We are way behind the rest of the nation in terms of providing preschool. We know that for every $1 you spend on preschool, you get a return of at least $3. And some studies have shown as much as $7 in terms of reduced social costs throughout that child's lifetime. So preschool is a good investment. Probably transportation is a very good investment. The universities are good investments. So I think looking down the road, I think looking at where we can spend the scarce resources that are going to provide the biggest bang for the buck is the issue. Reforms are happening. I mean, they're not happening at the pace they need to happen at, but the reduction in funding for schools has caused reforms, has caused changes in schools. We just recently, in this last week, saw the legislature, and what I'd call a high note for the Michigan legislature, came together and worked through their partisan differences on an early or an incentive program for school retirees, and they made some significant changes to the retirement system. So can it happen? Absolutely, it can happen when people get serious about it. I think the issue here is trying to make those reforms happen before it's too late. I think it's a matter of timing right now. I think the good news for Michigan is that when you listen to the folks who are talking in the room today, that it's clear that this is not an insolvable problem we face. There are lots of good solutions out there. There are lots of good people promoting the solutions. So it can be done, I guess, is the positive part. It's going to take you know, a sacrifice on the part of people to do it, and it's going to take an openness on the part of people to do it. So one way or another, we're going to make the sacrifices. Either we're going to have, you know, crummy roads, we're going to have a poorer school systems, we're going to have kids who can't afford to go to college. That's one form of sacrifice. Or we're going to find ways to better pay for those things that we know will make Michigan a great place for us to live and an attractive place for other folks to want to move to.